All right, very good. So I am coming to you from my hometown of Wapaka, Wisconsin, and I'm at the city beach. And we have some friends that have joined us this morning, some geese of varying sizes, enjoying the sand and the water and the vegetation around the lake. So it is nice to have them. All right, I think we are about ready to start our practice today. So once again, my name is Suzanne Cook. I welcome you to Spring Forest Qigong every day. I am a registered nurse, a massage therapist, and a certified Spring Forest Qigong trainer. I live in a very rural area in Wisconsin, and so my internet connectivity is often spotty. Hopefully today it will hold through, and I apologize for yesterday's not so good quality, and I thank you for your patience and your understanding in this regard. So I just want, because we were kind of spotty yesterday, I'm just going to recap a little bit about what we talked about yesterday. And my emphasis this week is going to be on nature and the seasons and how they relate to the 5 elements movements. So yesterday, the first movement was related to the season of spring. And I invited you to think about the rebirth and renewal of spring and sort of renew that inner spirit that you have. I also invited you to think of your body as a garden and think about that renewal in your personal life. I invited you to plant seeds of happiness in every single cell in your body so that they may grow and flourish. So the natural progression of seasons is summer. So our second element, breathing of the universe, is associated with the summertime season. The element is fire. So that kind of makes sense also because the heat of the sun. So it is like a natural progression throughout the 5 elements. But I want you to also think about the yin and yang of seasons. Spring is still pretty much yin and starting to shift over into the yang. And summer is considered high yang. It is a high energy time of the year. And as a kid, that was fantastic. I spent a lot of time on this beach in the summertime, and carefree, joyous time in my life, always in and on the water, made me the happiest. So as an adult, I translated that into, obviously I still like the water, being in and on the water, but I translated that also into gardening. So as a gardener, this time of year in the summer, I enjoy seeing those seeds that I planted in the spring flourish and grow and start to produce. And I get to harvest the fruits of my labor, which is fun to do and share with my neighbors. And when I think of the internal garden that I have, summer too, it gives me more energy. It creates, whenever I'm around water especially, my creative juices seem to flow a little bit better. The seeds of happiness that I planted are starting to grow and become more joy. But we always have to be vigilant that we weed out some of the things that no longer serve us. We need to weed out the self-doubt, the overthinking, anxiety, fear, and replace them with joy, radiating love, unconditional love, inspiring other people to be creative. We must be vigilant in a high yang environment to be more conscious of our emotional well-being. So I invite you to radiate love and to incorporate creativity in any aspect of your life. Yesterday, I also shared with you that we will be doing a seated practice because many of my people in my practice groups have varying levels of physical ability. So just to review that, the flexing of the knees when we're doing certain movements, like when we flex our knees in breathing of the universe, and when we're flexing our knees in the initial bouncing. The purpose of that is to connect with the yin energy of the earth and bring it up into our torso. It also helps to open up the kidney channels. So we can accomplish that either sitting or lying down, and when I move back, I'll demonstrate that. But also with our bouncing, if we really let everything loose and hang, we have a natural flexion in our wrist. Well, when we're in a seated position or lying down, we don't have that natural flexion. So we create it by flexing our wrists. That opens up the heart and lung channels in the wrist. So I'm going to move back now and just review those techniques. I'm going to kick off my shoes because I like feeling my feet in the sand. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate flexing when you are lying down in a lying down position. Simply flex and point your toes. Flexing and pointing your toes. That is that pumping action that will help to draw up. When you are in a seated position, raising the heels and lowering the heels helps with that flexion and pulling up that yin energy and activating the kidney channel. Also, if you're more flexible, you might want to be kick out. So those are all options for you. But whether you are seated, standing, or lying down, visualization is a very important part of our practice. And it's especially important when you're in a seated position or lying down. You need to visualize you are in your perfect posture. You are erect and tall, and your limbs have unlimited normal range of motion, the ability to move freely. So I shared a little story, and I'll share it again because of the sound issue I had yesterday. When I first started practicing Spring Force Qigong, I had the DVDs and videos. And so of course I was in front of my TV. So in my mind, I was doing it just beautifully. I had good range of motion. And then one day, as one of my practice leaders suggested, I practiced in front of a mirror. Well, that was a whole different story. My right arm was up here, but my left arm, who I had visualized was up here as well, was about like this. And it was a shock to me because I had always visualized I'd never had a problem with my shoulder. But as I visualized that my arm was straight and reaching for the yang or of energy of the sun, I continued to do that. And pretty soon one day, snap, crackle, pop, that joint, the shoulder joint, let go, and there I was. So visualization is important no matter what position your body is in. So for those of you that are sitting, these instructions will be the same as for those standing. We are going to have our feet firmly on the ground, and visualize that your feet are firmly on the ground, rooted 9 feet into the earth. I want that tailbone tucked underneath and the spine is straight. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And we will be breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. That helps us detoxify better. So let's start our bouncing for today. So I'm going to turn a little sideways so you maybe can see the feet. So remember, in a seated position or lying down, you have to create that flexion yourself. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, detoxifying, releasing, letting go. Listen to your body as to the rhythm of your bouncing. And if you are able to stand and you have difficulty with your knees, be kind to your knees. Go slowly, but visualize that you're revved up. It's just a reminder, you can bounce at any time during the day. It's a good revitalization, and I find it a good recentering for myself. If I start getting too scattered, I come back to bouncing. And now let's slowly bring those hands up above your head if you're able. Now remembering, being kind to your body. Don't force anything. Be kind and gentle. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When we place our hands above our head like this, and we're flexing our wrists, we open those channels, those heart and lung channels, but just the act of having our hands above our head helps to open up those lung channels even more. And if you think about our day-to-day life, we don't often do this posture very often. So take advantage of this time bouncing and open up those channels. All right, we're slowly going to bring the arms down. Remember, in Qigong, we don't do anything really quickly. And now, if you are seated or standing, twist from the waist and let those arms flop if you're able. And as I said yesterday, I always notice when I let my arms flop that I'm usually tapping on my tailbone, which is the gate to vitality. And of course, in the front, I'm tapping on the lower abdomen. And so let's slowly come to stillness. And just take a moment to tune in. How are you feeling? Maybe your heart is pumping a little bit more. You might feel some tingling going on. Excuse me. Just tune in. Very good. All right, now one more slow, deep breath in and out, and we will start with our preparation. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about preparing the soil in my garden. Excuse me, I think I swallowed a bug. We talked about the preparation in my garden, and so this preparation is very much the same. We are preparing our body to really cultivate and activate our qi. So we are starting our practice here. Get straight, shoulders down, smile on our face. Very good. All right, let's start by cupping the top of our heads, activating those yang channels. There's all the yang channels congregate here. So we're getting those woke up. Excuse me. Going down underneath the cheeks, or underneath the eyes at the cheekbones, we're tapping. Now, the ideal number is 9 times. But when I'm talking, I lose count. So please do this 9 times. This helps to open the stomach channel. It helps to open the front channel of our bodies. Now let's move up to the beginning of our eyebrows. Excuse me. Front of our, activates the back channel and the bladder channel. Now let's move back again up to our head, cupping. And then we move to the skull. Now, if you have any neck issues, you might want to support your head as you do this. Then we move down to the C7, where your neck and your spine join. And we're going to give that little bump a massage. I kind of think of this as, we have 12 major energy channels running through our body. And I kind of think of this as a juncture point. So those 12 energy channels have to narrow down to get through that neck and up into the head and back down into the body. So think of this as opening that traffic jam, making things flow even better. All right, so let's activate those heart centers in the palms of our hands, clapping 9 times. And then we're moving over to our elbow. Once again, opening the heart and lung channels. And now we move over to the right side. Also doing that cupping action. Now let's move back over to the left, and we're going in the armpit area. Now this helps to open heart and lungs, as we said, but also breast and lymphatic system, opening those channels. Now let's move over to the right and do the same. Oh, I'm sorry, that might be too vigorous. Interfering with my sound. All right, very good. Now let's go down and tap. Tap that tailbone. Move over to the hips, tapping the hips. Opening those hip and leg channels, going down to the knees, tops of the knees, the backs of the knees, sides of the left knee, sides of the right knee. And now once again, tune in. How are you feeling with that? I know I feel more relaxed with that. A sign that my channels are opening. So let's get into our beginning of the universe stance. Feet firmly planted on the ground. In fact, 9 feet down, roots really grounded. That spine is straight, being pulled up like a marionette. Shoulders are down, fingers are open. Chin is slightly tucked, tongue to the roof of the mouth, and smile. Start my internal love engine. Nice deep breath in and out. And now is a good time also to set your intention for your practice, remembering that that intention can be a physical, emotional, or spiritual one. So take that this moment and just set that intention for your practice today. We're going to be saying the password next, and I like to say to have a breath in between each phrase to help me internalize what I have just said. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together. Now let's call upon our master's energy. And of course, our master is a higher power, someone that you have someone or something that you have great respect for. And that master that you call upon will be there for you. They will assist you, and they will assist you in achieving your intention today. So take a moment and call upon them. Visualize that beautiful light in your lower dantian. And because especially today, because we're thinking of the heart, let's move that up, that beautiful glow up to our hearts. Radiate that love and joy from the heart. So with the breathing of the universe, the movement is led by our elbows. So we're holding a ball at our lower dantian. And as we inhale, those elbows come out. And as we exhale, those elbows come back in. Inhaling, exhaling. And now you may want to incorporate the flexing of the knees. As you're inhaling, flex the knees. As you're exhaling, straighten the knees. Remember, never locking your knees. Feel how that opens your chest when you expand your arms. Breathing becomes easier. But I invite you also to maybe try something that might be a new experience for you. Breathe through your skin. Breathe through every single pore of your skin. Master Lin often tells us to release smoke. Release anything that no longer serves us as smoke out of every pore. So let's do that. Release the self-doubt,